Hello and welcome to Slow Pit Stop, the international Formula One podcast by fans for fans all around the world. My name is Arafat, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Mohammed. Say hi, Mohammed.
What fans, Arafat? What fans are we? Hi, Mohammed.
We are Lewis Hamilton fans, and time again on this podcast, I have said I am not a Mercedes fan. I am a Lewis Hamilton fan, and my McLaren stuff was replaced by Mercedes stuff, and my Mercedes stuff is now about to be replaced by Ferrari stuff.
Then explain this. What do I have on my sweater? Why do I own this?
That is the prequel stuff to Ferrari era.
Okay.
I'll
take
the
it. I'll
Anakin
take it.
Skywalker outfit to the Darth Vader outfit.
Oh, I'm anxious.
So we weren't going to bring the podcast back until the season started, have some time to prepare and all this, but something very exciting is happening. So we thought we'd make a mini pod. It looks like, the situation is evolving. There's supposed to be an official news story in 4 hours from now?
7 p.m. GMT. Who knows what that is in American time?
So it's 3.5 hours from now. But it looks like Lewis Hamilton is set to join Ferrari in 2025. This is something we've spoken about before. This is something I've wanted before. This is something I'm very excited about. But Mohammed, talk me through your emotions. So you're in the USA and you were slightly late to the party because you were asleep.
Well, I would argue I was slightly early to the party and you were asleep last night when I first discussed the rumors in one of our group chats. Because, yes, I mean, technically, the rumors came out yesterday, and they came out so early that literally nobody believed them. It looked like every few months Lewis going to Ferrari rumors that we always hear. But this time it was from two Italian journalists who have some credibility behind them, Donadani and Di Chessa. The Italian, I'm so sorry. All of Tifosi is going to murder us now because we can't say any of their names.
This is going to be the next 2 years of our life.
It's literally. But anyway, they apparently reported it first, and they were so dead set that it was happening. And initially I was talking about it, and I was like, I don't believe it. I think they're putting in the media to make it happen, to pressure Lewis, maybe pressure Mercedes. I don't know. And then, yes, I went to sleep at 11 p.m. So not even like I slept early for the night. And then I woke up at 8 a.m. and it wasn't just two spunky Italian journalists. It was everyone. Everyone was now reporting it. Everyone was saying it like it was fact, except for Joe Sayward, who did end up reporting it like an hour later. And so I went through the 5 stages. I went through denial. That was last night. And then I went through the second one, anger. I was angry initially. I was like, why would you do this to us? Why? And then I went through bargaining. I was like, maybe if I sell my soul, he'll stay at Mercedes. And then I went through depression, and I was like, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe when Ferrari puts Lewis on inters in the heat and puts him on softs in the rain, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe when he says it's hammer time and they go, hammer time, we are checking, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fine when the engine blows up on lap 7. I don't know, maybe. But now I've come to the 5th stage, dementia. I don't know what to believe.
So I went straight from 0 to excited. I remember exactly where I was when I heard that Lewis was moving from McLaren to Mercedes. And I went through all of what you're talking about. I was like, no, what's happening? Like, it felt like everything was falling apart then. Whereas today, I just went from 0 to excited straight away. Because basically, Lewis has finished the main game. And now he's playing side quests. Right? There is no downside in this. If Lewis doesn't win, it's Ferrari's fault. If Lewis gets a race win in a Ferrari, it's a huge add to his legacy. If Lewis wins a championship in the Ferrari,
undisputed greatest
because
of all time.
He will have then won championships with 3 different teams
in 3 eras,
across multiple eras. Yeah. So that's huge. So I don't see any downside for him. It's a huge ask what he's about to try and achieve. If he doesn't win it, then I think that's fine. His legacy is his legacy. And if he does win, then it only elevates him even higher. So I think it's a good thing.
If he loses, I guess it would be like that thing where all these champions go to Ferrari to finish out their careers and never win, like Alonso and Vettel and...
But this is the thing. I think all of them have looked at it and gone, I want to do what Schumacher / Raikkonen did. Everyone goes and fails the challenge. And I said this before. I think the next Ferrari world champion is going to be Verstappen because
Hmm.
I think I've said this before at the news today because I think Verstappen has time on his side because
Hmm.
he's young. I thought he'd win 3, 4, 5 championships at Red Bull, then maybe at 2026 they have their downturn, and then after that he would move to Ferrari, and then realistically at his age he has 5, 10 years with Ferrari to
Yeah.
build that up and put
Yeah.
together something. So I think what Lewis doesn't have is time.
Hmm.
I think he's got more time than others would at his age, 2, 3 years, something like that. But I think even if he can just get back to winning races and he becomes a
Hmm.
race winner with Ferrari, like he holds a world record for most races with a single engine constructor. Everything he's ever done
Hmm.
is in a Mercedes engine. So
Hmm.
this will be a huge change if it all gets confirmed. I think the way
Hmm.
the momentum is moving, I can't imagine this not being confirmed. The only thing I think is none of this was supposed to be leaked. I think he wanted to sit on it till like September,
Hmm.
see how the Mercedes was doing, and then be able to make a decision then.
Yeah, who did Ferrari leak it? Like, it clearly it came out too early. So who?
Yeah.
What do you think? Ferrari leaked
I
it.
don't know. I think like a lot of things in the background now suddenly start to make sense. News stories over the winter. Why is Sainz only being offered a 1 year deal?
Yeah,
So clearly, this isn't something that's happened overnight.
yeah.
Discussions must have been happening for a long time. There's that advert from Peroni, with all the Ferrari sponsorship gear, where they've got number
Uh,
44 on the car.
yeah,
Have
I'm
you seen that?
stressed. I have seen it, and in hindsight, it's clear as day. But wow, you think I was looking at more than 2 seconds at a Peroni Ferrari ad? I saw it on my
No,
Twitter, and I
no.
kept
But why are you
scrolling.
stressed? I don't know why you're stressed.
Okay, here's why I'm stressed. Here are my anxieties. Okay, Lewis doesn't have a long time left, and I want him to win his eighth. I need him to win his eighth championship
Yeah,
before he retires. Now, if he sticks with Mercedes, it's the nice, safe option, but you don't know if they're going to do it. You don't know if the W15 is there, if the W16 will be. You don't know. If he moves to Ferrari, their car is better, but their operational apparatus sucks, probably more
yeah,
than
true.
Mercedes.
But how often do Mercedes get the strategy right? How often do Mercedes get the pit stops right? Like, I think
Yeah.
it's at worst a sideways move, not a backwards move.
That's true. That I guess is true. I guess he had to try something. This is why he is like so up there and I'm me because I never take risks with anything
Yeah,
ever. Like I cannot take risks. I go that's nice, safe option, comfortable. I would never leave the same job if I could avoid it. But yeah, you're right. He's the one who made the initial shock move. So if anyone knows how to do it, it's him, and he's the one. He made it
yeah.
work last time, and Mercedes
I think it'll be
wasn't
great.
who they were last time. So,
Yeah, I think it will be great. I don't know if he can win a
sorry.
championship. I hope he wins races again. And if that's what happens, then I think it'll be very exciting. Next question: who's taking a seat in Mercedes?
I think it's pretty obvious. It has to be Mick Schumacher.
Really? I was going to go with Sainz. I was going to say straight swap.
Actually, I was gonna say Fernando Alonso, but then I wanted to go funnier. But then I realized Mick Schumacher is a much, much more boring option. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna change mine to Fernando Alonso. I think Alonso
Uh,
goes to Mercedes. It could be Sainz, but Sainz I think has something really nice lined up at Audi. And I saw something over the winter break about his dad also meeting with Audi
yeah, his
people in
dad
order
races
to.
with Audi,
Yeah.
so that
So
would make sense.
I
I
think
think
I
Sainz
think
becoming a Bottas replacement makes sense.
yeah. Okay, but is Lewis going to be number one driver at Ferrari? Is Lewis going to be allowed to do his diversity initiatives at Ferrari? Is Lewis going to be allowed to
Yeah.
eat vegan food at Ferrari?
This
You
is really
know,
interesting because Italy currently has quite a right wing government, and a lot of stuff is changing in Italy. Like I remember reading on the BBC News, there was a thing about uh, homosexual families leaving the country because they're scared their kids are going to be taken away
oh,
from
that's
them,
sad.
things like this. So, like a lot of stuff that Lewis is doing, and things like just wearing his own clothes. You know, he had
Yeah,
that built into his Mercedes contract because that was something that McLaren, especially in the Ron Dennis era, were
they didn't
very
let him do
restrictive
it.
about.
Yeah.
So, will he be allowed to be himself? And all of this stuff will be very interesting. I think he's not going to be at Ferrari for 10 years, and I
Hmm.
think actually the brand of Lewis, because there's a bit of me that thought, oh, it'll be nice for him to become a Mercedes ambassador in the future, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I think actually the Lewis Hamilton brand is bigger than any brand.
Hmm.
And you saw that
Yeah.
today, Ferrari stock price has gone up like $4 billion
40. Yeah.
or something.
$4 billion. Something insane.
So, and I think if Lewis retired from Ferrari in 2 years and then wanted to become a Mercedes brand ambassador, they wouldn't say no.
Okay, that brings me to my next question, though. Isn't he Mercedes through and through and die hard? Or no? Is he not?
So I think he is. I think he will always have a lot of respect. I think this is a. There must be a calling to say, Alonso failed at this, Vettel failed at this, all these other people
Oh
failed at
my
this. Can I do it?
goodness. The pressure is so high, it's not even on my shoulders, and I'm feeling
Yeah,
it.
but like I think for someone like Lewis, I think that's exciting. Like he wants that pressure and that test, and I think
Yeah,
if he fails, I think it's more interesting that he went out swinging and
yeah,
gave it his all rather
yeah,
than, like you said, took the safe thing
yeah,
and muddled around getting third, fourth, fifth place with
yeah,
Mercedes for a bit.
yeah. Okay, all right. Last question, I guess, before we end this, because we want to keep it short. Do you
Mm.
think it's going to happen 2025 or 2024, like those same Italian journalists are reporting?
Yeah, so I think this was not supposed to be announced till like September, and I
Yeah,
think the amount of movement that's required to make it happen, it's not impossible. Another thing is, one thing I think Lewis would want like a farewell season with Mercedes
yeah, fair
to say
enough.
one last ride.
Yeah,
So I think realistically he's going to get that, and it's going to be the goodbye season.
yeah.
Um, and then it's going to be a different challenge next year. Um,
Do,
I can't see it happening this year
yeah, too soon.
because it'd be too. But like I wouldn't be surprised if it happened as well.
Yeah. Do you think this season's gonna matter? Do you think Mercedes is gonna throw everything behind George and forget about Lewis, and it's gonna just suck
No,
watching it? No.
I think the way the teams behaved at the end of last year when
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes and Ferrari were fighting for P2,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think they're going to do whatever they can to maximize prize money, and
Uh.
it'll be on the day. It'll be who can get us the best result today. They're not going to
Yeah.
back because I think Verstappen's going to win the world. Can
Yeah.
they unsettle Perez? Can they stay in? How they need to try and fight for P2 again because
Oh.
McLaren and Ferrari will be there. So I think they're going to do whatever on the day to support both
So are
drivers.
you
There's
telling
not
me
a
in
favorite one.
2025 I'm gonna be rooting for Ferrari against Mercedes? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
that I felt like that. 2013 when I was rooting against McLaren.
Yeah.
Um, Now, but like I think that's why I've never felt like a quote unquote
Mercedes
Mercedes
fan.
fan because I was like, oh, I'm a Lewis fan, and
Uh,
I always said, if Lewis moves somewhere, then I'm moving there too. I've got a lot of admiration for the things that Mercedes has achieved, and I think we can learn lessons from that. But like, they don't pay my bank balance. I don't care.
I want to sincerely apologize to all of my friends and family who bought me Mercedes F1 gear, not
I
Lewis
got
gear, but
so much
Mercedes.
gear. Uh, so I was bought as a present from my wife as well. I got the Mercedes rain jacket. I got the two T-shirts. But the thing is, I've still got my McLaren shirts from back in the day and my McLaren jackets and things. I'll still wear all of those. I think they're because it's like I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm trying to think. If you had a footballer that's retired and you're wearing his old gear,
yeah.
that doesn't mean you're supporting the team nowadays. But it's part
But
of that.
like in America, it's different though. In America, when the player leaves the team, people stick to the team always. Nobody
No,
follows the
no. In
player when they
football,
leave.
everything. I think Formula One is a unique sport in this aspect.
Mm.
Like in soccer, it's the exact same. If you're like a Manchester United fan
Yeah,
and your star player moves to Chelsea or a different
yeah,
country, you're still a Manchester United fan.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I think Formula One is unique in this aspect. The only team that I think is different is Ferrari. I think for a lot of Italians, the team comes first.
Hmm.
Um, and it's going to be interesting seeing Team LH meet the Tifosi.
It's
But
already starting on Twitter. It's a
yeah,
war. But you're right.
yeah,
Next season, 2025, when we need each other, let's see what
yeah.
happens.
But
Okay, all right. I feel better now after having spoken with you.
yeah, I'm really excited. I like obviously we're still waiting on official confirmation. Like this all might just be a massive, terrible mistake, and
I'm gonna
Lord
schedule
help.
this podcast episode to come out exactly at 7 p.m. So it comes out whether there is or not official
Yeah,
confirmation.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but I think it'll be cool because whatever Lewis achieves, I think it will still be worth a lot. Watch Rocky 1. He doesn't win the fight, but it's about putting everything into it, and I think that's what's about to happen. And if he wins, it'll be amazing. But if he doesn't win, it'll be amazing to watch nonetheless.
I think that's a good way to end this episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sorry we went into a bit of a hibernation. We were both working in the ICU at night, which is insane because our nights are different. But we'll try to get you guys a few more content.
Sleep now. Night night.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, everyone. Bye.
Bye.